Alright, ready? Alright, go! Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back. Today I have something that I'm pretty stoked about. And by the title and the preview of this video, you probably already know what it is. But yes, today I got a new quad. And that quad is the Protek35 by iFlight. Now, I know I'm a little bit late on this one, but the Protek35 is a Cinewhoop that was recently released by iFlight. And honestly, a lot of people seem to really like it. Now, I've personally wanted to get my hands on one of these ever since I saw the preview for it, because it just looks really cool, and it seems different than any other Cinewhoop I've seen out there before. Now, I should mention, this isn't the first Cinewhoop I've ever owned, and I actually already own two. But personally, I've just never been that impressed with any of the Cinewhoops I've tried before, which is why you guys have never seen any reviews on them. The first Cinewhoop I bought was this one, with its big bulky ducts, and it was alright, but once I actually mounted a GoPro to it, it just seemed a little bit too bulky and slow for me. There was that one time when I tried to fly it down a mountain, which, looking back on it, was incredibly risky, but honestly, I just had this guy hanging on my wall, and I never used it, so I thought, why not just give it a shot? And that was without a GoPro. That was just using the DJI system. Once you actually mount a GoPro to it, this guy flies like a tank, which for the type of flying that I like to do, just wasn't working for me. Now, I just want to reiterate that there was nothing wrong with the Taycan I was using, and Cinewhoops are supposed to fly that way. That was all just my personal preference. After that, little Cinewhoops like this one became really popular with naked GoPros strapped to them. And I thought I'd get one of those, but first of all, I had so many problems connecting my stripped GoPro to my phone. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. Not only that, but whenever I would get it to work, this quad in particular was giving me a lot of vibration issues, which I just didn't have time to troubleshoot. So I decided to put it aside and forget about it for the time being. But I thought that I should still have a Cinewhoop in my arsenal that I enjoy using, because some shots are too dangerous to be done with exposed propellers, and a little bit more protection can sometimes be good. So when iFlight released this one, the Protek35, which they advertised as a slightly faster and more nimble Cinewhoop, I thought, this is cool, this actually might be it. So I got one. And today we're gonna check it out, but first, let's see what we get inside. When you open the box, you'll first find some spare props, a little bag with antennas, battery pads, straps, and extra hardware, another bag with USB cables that you might need. This one has some spare connectors, which won't be needed right away, but don't throw these out, you never know when they'll come in handy. Some extra foam bumpers for the ducts, and the drone itself. Now, just like all of iFlight's most recent packaging, they really show that they care about the consumer, and there's a ton of warning and other label stickers all over the drone to help out any beginners. Now, my first impressions of the drone, the ducts are definitely much thinner, which make them seem less cumbersome and will maybe impact flight performance a little bit less. I personally decided to add the extra foam padding to the outside for extra protection, and honestly, I think it looks pretty sleek. The propellers are slightly bigger than most Cinewhoops. Most have 3-inch propellers, while the Protek has 3.5-inch, which should give it a little bit more thrust. The quad is also big enough to carry a full-sized GoPro, which I'm excited about, but you can also opt for a naked GoPro if that's your preference. But there is actually another thing I found from iFlight is this cable, which allows you to take out the battery from your GoPro and the battery door which on the Hero 9 will save around 45 grams. And then you can plug this cable in and charge your GoPro from your LiPo battery as you're flying, which kind of seems like a middle ground between a full-size GoPro and the naked one. So that's something I'm going to test out during these flights as well. Okay, very quickly, because I don't end up actually talking about this cable in the video, this is one of the best investments I've made in a long time, and I think you guys should get one as well. Because even if you don't care about losing a couple grams on your quad, just having a spare one of these in your bag can be a lifesaver. If you ever forget to bring a GoPro battery or your battery dies on you, this could prevent you from ever being in a situation where you can't get the shot that you want to get. So just get one, throw it in your bag, and one day you'll be happy you did. Finally, a few other small details that I noticed, besides the wonderful labels, are the sleek 3D printed parts, the bonus LEDs on the bottom and the back of the quad, and most importantly, a very thoughtful design to the frame, which allows easy access to all the ports and binding buttons that you may need from the outside of the quad. So you don't have to take it apart to do any pairing or troubleshooting or anything. And the black version of this quad just looks super sleek and far less like a toy, and something that you could actually bring onto a professional shoot. But the only question that matters is how well does it actually fly? So now I'm gonna take it through my version of the ultimate Cinewhoop test. And this test is gonna consist of 3 shots, all of them being shots that I would never wanna do with my freestyle quad, the Noswell 5. Also, I should say that I'm not sponsored by iFlight. I just really like their product so far, which is why I keep coming back. But anyways, let's get into it. Test number 1, indoor shots. Now, flying indoors with a freestyle quad can be extremely dangerous, because if you hit anything, your propellers can cause some serious damage. This is why it's one of the biggest benefits of having a Cinewhoop. This is one of the first shots I tried indoors, and this is with no stabilization in the GoPro and my terrible stick control. I should also mention that all of these shots were with the standard rates that come with the drone. Now, with a little bit of help of Real Steady, the shot ended up looking like this. Now, it wasn't too hard controlling the Protek in smaller indoor spaces. It is pretty easy to maneuver and get it where you want it to go. The only thing I noticed is that compared to a smaller quad like this one, the Protek's bigger propellers create a lot more thrust or wind power blowing down. So when I was flying through more narrow areas, the wind seemed to blow down and then around and kind of create this like funnel effect that would cause the Protek to drift from side to side. And it was a little bit harder to get it to go straight. Now, this would only happen when I was flying very slowly. The more momentum I gave it, the better it dealt with those situations. So overall, even though I was pretty happy with the shots I ended up getting, I would say if you're getting this to fly it indoors, it would definitely be better in medium to larger indoor spaces. Now, the next category is flying around people. But the Protek is supposed to be fast. So I didn't just want to fly around myself. So I got my buddy Matt and I gave him a bike and asked if I could chase him. And I gotta say, this is where the Protek shined the most. Now, I'm not going to blame my ability to stay on target on the wind, but it was incredibly windy that day, and I gotta say that this guy still held up really well. Now, yes, following a target like this would be much easier with a regular 5-inch freestyle drone, but it can be dangerous. You don't want to hit somebody in the face with an FPV drone. So being able to get a shot like that with a ducted quad, in my books, is a huge win. That's why in the flying around humans category, the Protek35 gets a big, oh yeah, from me. But there was still one more test. And for this one, I wanted to do something special. Something that I've always wanted to try. So what I always thought would be awesome would be to see somebody chasing a car with a drone and then all of a sudden flying in through one of the back windows, flying through the car and then out the other side. Now, do I actually think I can do this? Honestly, I have no idea, because not only is this a really hard shot to do, but also I have one of the smallest cars with tiny windows. So first, I tried to do it stationary, and I made it, but it was honestly much harder than I thought it would be. All right, honestly, I feel like my chances of making this are pretty slim to none, because even when the car is not moving, there's just absolutely no room for error. But I've come this far, might as well try. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed in those clips, the awesome new goggle strap I've been using. I had this sent to me by a guy named Juan Gallardo, who owns his own FPV shop, and he makes these himself. And I think they're pretty awesome. So thanks, Juan. And I'll link his store down below in case you guys want to pick one up yourselves. Now, with the car being stationary, I was able to get it through, but it really wasn't that easy. I started getting really worried about whether this would work out. But sometimes you just gotta go for it. And this took a lot of attempts. Also, because I wanted to get this shot so badly, I slightly regret not changing the rates on the Protek, because for some reason, the rates that come on it are extremely high, much higher than I would think anybody would want to fly a Cinewhoop with, but I wanted to keep them how they are to show you guys how it flies straight out of the box. But as I kept trying over and over, I did start getting pretty close. Finally, on one of my attempts, this happened. I was so close, and at this point, I only had a few batteries left. So I tried again, and on my final attempt, I crashed again. Yes, I didn't end up getting that shot the way I envisioned it. I'm not going to give up though. I'm still going to try again another day. However, I also want to pass that challenge on to you guys to see if any of you watching can pull it off better than I could. If you can send me or tag me in a shot of you flying your quad through a moving car, I'll make sure to include it in one of my next videos. Alright, I shouldn't actually condone that you guys do that, because I'll mention that flying a quad close to humans, whether it's ducted or not, can always be extremely dangerous. So I don't want anybody getting hurt, and if you guys do decide to do that, you're doing it at your own risk, alright? Just don't be an idiot, don't do it on public roads, and make sure your driver is protected and safe. Now, as for the Protek35, this is definitely my favorite Cinewhoop to date. I do think I'm actually going to try it with a naked GoPro 8. I think with a little bit less weight and my own rates, I think this guy will fly even better. So to any of you guys looking to pick one up, I definitely recommend it. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a like, subscribe if you want more content, and as always, I appreciate every single one of you for watching this far, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.